Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we really get into the information you've been exploring and pull out the absolute essentials. Today, we're looking at Roxie Nafousi's book, Manifest. Think of this as, well, your personalized guide to her core ideas.
Exactly. And you've given us some great material to work with, summaries of, all 7 steps, bits about Roxie herself, the book's background,
Right.
lists of key quotes, those Q&As for each step, even a quiz. It's a really good overview of her whole philosophy.
Yeah, comprehensive. So our mission today is pretty straightforward. Cut through all that and give you the most vital, actionable takeaways from Manifest. We want you to walk away really understanding how she connects self-belief and intentionality to getting what you desire, but without feeling totally overwhelmed by detail.
Makes sense.
Okay, let's get into it. Starting with step 1, be clear in your vision.
Yeah, this one's huge. Foundational, really.
Yeah.
As the notes say, if you don't actually know where you're going, well, it's pretty hard to get there, right?
Totally. That clarity piece is it's paramount for manifesting.
Absolutely.
And Nafousi really hammers home the specifics, doesn't she? It's like not just, I want something better, but what does that look like?
Exactly. Vague wishes don't cut it. She wants you to get detailed. Like, if it's a job, what kind of job? What are you doing day to day? Who are you working with? That kind of thing.
And there's a useful tip if you're feeling a bit stuck on the specifics.
Oh, yeah.
Focus on the feeling. How do you want your life to feel? That seems to be a really powerful alternative starting point.
That's a great point. Is it joy you're after? Peace? Excitement? Nailing down those core emotions can really anchor the vision.
Then we get into visualization. And this isn't just, daydreaming. The materials mentioned, there's some neuroscience backing it up.
Right. It's about creating that vivid mental picture, but crucially, and this is key, tuning into the feelings. Like, how would you feel if you already had it?
So it's pre-experiencing it almost.
Yeah, exactly. Making it feel real emotionally. Apparently that activates similar brain pathways to actually doing the thing. Sort of strengthens the whole desire-reality connection in your brain.
Interesting. And one of the big questions she poses is, who do you want to become? It shifts the focus, doesn't it? It's not just about the external stuff.
Absolutely. It's about envisioning that future you. What are they like? How confident are they? Visualizing that person is a really big part of this first step.
And to make it more concrete, there's the recommendation for a vision board.
Yes, the classic vision board. A collage, basically. Yeah. Physical or digital, whatever works.
And the process outlined is quite intentional. Set the mood, choose your medium, think about timelines, focus on feelings, and that future self.
And I liked the part about categorizing life areas, like breaking it down into career, relationships, health, etc. It gives it structure.
It makes it feel more manageable, maybe. Less overwhelming than just my whole future.
Yeah, I think so. And then a really important instruction, let go of the fear while you're doing it.
Right. Don't censor yourself based on what seems realistic now.
Use your imagination, turn any anxiety into excitement. It's meant to be a space for, limitless thinking.
And it connects back to that idea that manifestation isn't just about materialism, right? It's about creating a life that feels good, feels fulfilling.
Totally. It always comes back to the feeling, which is why she suggests reflecting on past moments of joy. When did you feel truly content? What were you doing? Who with?
To find your authentic desires, not just what you think you should want.
Exactly. Tuning into your unique happiness triggers, not society's. The reflect on contentment and identify feelings exercises seem designed for exactly that.
Okay, and why store the vision board away? That seemed a bit counterintuitive at first.
Yeah, but the idea is surrender, right? Trusting the process is in motion without constantly needing to check on it or tweak it. Plus, keeping it private means you can be totally honest, no fear of judgment.
Got it. So don't worry about realism on the board, and maybe try that exercise of writing a future diary entry to really immerse yourself.
All roads lead back to clarity, getting super clear on the feeling and the vision.
Okay, so step 1, nail that vision. Focus on the feeling. Love that quote too. Everything you can imagine is real. Right, let's move to step 2. Remove fear and doubt.
Okay, this one goes deeper. It's about the mental blocks, the emotional stuff that holds you back.
Yeah, the idea that it's not just conscious thoughts, but deep subconscious beliefs about whether you're actually worthy of what you want.
Exactly. And that fear and doubt often comes from, low self-worth, limiting beliefs picked up over years, maybe past hurts that haven't healed properly.
So it requires real inner work. It's not a quick fix.
Definitely not. And she talks about healing the wound, not just the symptom. If you keep getting triggered by something, you need to look at the original source of that reaction, not just trying to manage the trigger itself.
Which means self-awareness is crucial, recognizing what sets off those feelings of fear or doubt.
Right. And often, as the book notes, those triggers link back to past experiences. Journaling comes up here as a key tool.
That exercise sounds useful, reflecting on a trigger, the emotions, any past links, and then thinking about a different response.
Yeah, it's practical. A way to start unpicking the power those triggers have. Inner child meditation is also mentioned.
Connecting with your younger self. Offering compassion.
It's sort of like giving that younger part of you what it might have needed back then. Reparenting almost.
And a big point, allowing yourself to actually feel the emotions, not suppressing the negative ones.
Yes, feeling them fully is how you process them and shift your energy. You can't bypass that.
And this all ties into self-love, which she says isn't just a bonus, it's fundamental.
Absolutely, not a separate step, but the engine driving the whole thing. Building that internal validation so you're less reliant on what others think.
Which then leads to better decisions, feeling more empowered.
Right. Trusting yourself enough to make authentic choices, not fear-based ones. The exercise on spotting, where you seek external approval and how to give it to yourself, that sounds really powerful.
And self-compassion is key for dealing with that inner critic, isn't it?
Oh, hugely. Treating yourself kindly, like you would a friend. Essential for growth.
It's about embracing all of you, flaws and all, celebrating uniqueness.
Yeah. And tackling that fear of arrogance, too. She distinguishes confidence that comes from self-love from, like, insecure boasting.
Good distinction.
Yeah.
Believing in yourself isn't arrogant. It's necessary.
So the takeaway here is that inner healing is ongoing. Tools and techniques help manage fear and doubt when they pop up, letting you reclaim your confidence.
Right. And that raise your vibration exercise, focusing on gratitude, pride, love, sounds like a good antidote.
Definitely. High vibe states push out the low vibe fear.
Love the quote here, too. You have to let it all go. Fear, doubt, and disbelief. Free your mind. Okay, on to step 3. Align your behavior.
Right. So this is where the rubber meets the road, kinda, making your actions match your intentions.
Yeah, it's not enough to just think positive thoughts. Your behavior needs to reflect that you believe you're worthy, that you expect good things.
Exactly. Your actions need to scream, I deserve this, and this is who I am becoming. And that often means, getting uncomfortable.
Stepping outside the comfort zone. Can't expect change if you keep doing the same old things.
And adopting healthy habits comes in here too. Daily practices that build self-love and reinforce that desired identity.
Like if you want to be vibrant and healthy, your routines should reflect that.
Yep.
Makes sense.
2 exercises stand out here. Visualize your future self. Getting into the details of their day, their feelings, their boundaries.
Right, going beyond just the image and the commitment letter.
Yeah, writing down like 10 specific actionable changes you can make now to start bridging that gap between current you and future you. Concrete stuff.
This step is also about ditching old patterns.
Yay.
And those limiting labels we stick on ourselves.
Totally. You're not defined by past habits or roles. And the focus on small daily rituals is interesting too.
Like hydration, exercise, gratitude.
Yeah, simple acts of self-care that add up, reinforcing your worth and alignment.
And that comfort zone thing, again, it's essential for growth. That slightly uneasy feeling when trying something new, that's often a good sign.
Means you're stretching. The weekly challenges probably offer specific ways to do that gently.
It's also about noticing and challenging those self-sabotaging excuses. We all have them.
Oh, yeah. The I'm not ready or it's not the right time voice.
But the message is, you are ready now. You have what it takes to start aligning thoughts and actions.
Like that think then do idea. Take a small action immediately to beat procrastination.
And making time for solitude, for self-reflection, checking in with yourself.
Crucial. And she mentions the support tools too, the journal, mantras, deck, notebook things to help keep you on track.
So ultimately, this step is about taking responsibility, being an active creator of your reality.
Well put. It's not passive waiting, it's active participation.
That quote sums it up. Only when your intent and actions are in alignment can you create the reality you desire. Okay, step 4. Overcome tests from the universe.
Right, acknowledging it's not always smooth sailing. You hit bumps, challenges, tests.
And the idea is these aren't setbacks, but opportunities to check your self-worth and trust.
Exactly. They test if you really believe you deserve what you're asking for. They might tempt you to settle.
but getting through them builds resilience.
Yeah, it's like each overcome challenge strengthens your belief in yourself and your manifesting power.
And even hitting rock bottom can be transformative, reframing it as a lesson.
Mm-hmm. Finding the learning in the struggle, it can actually heal old stuff and build confidence.
Learning to say no comes in here too.
Mm-hmm.
Protecting your energy, honoring your worth.
Definitely. Saying yes when you mean no lowers your vibration, apparently, hinders things.
And that ties into not settling in general, whether it's relationships, jobs, whatever. Settling reflects low self-worth.
You got to spot those patterns, understand the beliefs driving them.
Letting go is mentioned here too. Not giving up, but accepting the present. Releasing attachment to specific outcomes.
Right. It's an act of self-love, creating space. Even tough things like heartbreak can lead to growth, ultimately.
And reframing challenges is huge. Seeing them not as rejection, but maybe redirection. Learning opportunities.
Yeah, staying compassionate with yourself through it all is vital.
And finally, energy protection. Knowing what drains you and what energizes you.
And setting boundaries to protect that positive energy you need for manifesting.
Makes sense. That quote captures it. There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. Okay, step 5. Embrace gratitude.
Yes, shifting focus to appreciation. Gratitude isn't just nice, it's a high vibration state. Good for well-being, attracts more good stuff.
And that simple trick, replacing I have to with I get to, changes the whole feeling.
It really does, finding appreciation even in mundane tasks. And I like the slow drip dopamine idea.
Finding joy in simple pleasures, not just chasing big highs.
Exactly. Cultivating a more sustainable, everyday kind of happiness.
The acknowledging progress exercise sounds good too. Looking back at how far you've come.
Yeah, recognizing your growth, the challenges overcome, build gratitude for your own resilience.
And celebrating yourself. Not just big wins, but daily efforts.
Affirmations, little rewards, sharing wins, journaling them. Keep that positive energy flowing.
The gratitude challenge, expressing thanks daily, sounds like it creates good ripples.
Definitely. And conversely, stopping moaning. Becoming aware of negative complaining habits.
Shifting perspective and appreciating the ordinary through mindfulness.
Right. The daily gratitude diary helps focus on those simple joys we overlook.
And those quick raise your vibration mantras for a boost during the day.
Yeah, instant realignment with self-worth, potential, gratitude, powerful stuff.
Love this quote. It is not happiness that brings us gratitude. It is gratitude that brings us happiness. So true. Okay, step 6. Turn envy into inspiration.
Right, tackling a tricky emotion. Envy. The book frames it as coming from scarcity, low vibration.
Whereas inspiration comes from abundance, high vibration.
Exactly. And just ignoring envy doesn't work. It can fester into resentment or shame.
So you have to acknowledge it, validate it almost.
Yeah, acknowledge it without judging yourself and then see what it's trying to tell you.
Because envy often points to our own desires or insecurities about our worthiness.
That's the idea. Processing it instead of letting it diminish you. And recognizing it can sometimes show up as judging others.
Projecting our own stuff.
Pretty much. So healing involves accepting the feeling, being compassionate with yourself, and then using it constructively.
Using it for self-discovery. To figure out what you want and go after it.
Precisely. Empowering yourself instead of feeling inadequate. The reflection exercises sound really thorough for this.
Identifying triggers, disguised judgment, emotions, underlying wounds, what envy reveals, compassionate responses, healing steps. Wow.
Yeah. It's a deep dive into the feeling itself.
So the goal is to consciously shift from, I wish I had that resentment, to, that inspires me to pursue my own version.
That's the transformation. Using it as fuel, not poison.
Makes sense. And that quote nails it. Comparison is the thief of joy. It's all about focusing back on your own path.
Exactly. Your potential, your abundance.
Okay, brings us to the final step, number 7. Trust in the universe.
The big one, perhaps, cultivating that deep faith in the process.
It requires clarity on your desires, but also this unwavering belief they'll happen, a knowing feeling.
That inner confidence that attracts things to you. And a huge part of this is surrender.
Letting go of the need to control how and when things happen.
Exactly. Manifesting isn't about forcing things, it's alignment and faith. Trusting the universe or divine timing or whatever you call it.
Because impatience and doubt create resistance.
They do. They block the flow, so releasing those is key.
Reflecting on past unintentional manifestations helps build that trust. seeing how your mindset played out before.
Yeah, recognizing the universe has responded to your energy before, even if you weren't consciously directing it then.
And surrender means accepting the unfolding, not trying to wrestle it into shape.
Right. Forcing things disrupts the flow. Acceptance brings peace and allows things to happen naturally.
The daily practice sounds helpful. Noticing expectations, focusing on the present, using that mantra. I allow things to unfold.
As they're supposed to, without expectation. Yeah, because expectations can actually block things, create disappointment. True trust means letting go of fixed outcomes.
So there's a difference between manifesting, setting intention, and allowing and controlling, obsessing and manipulating.
Big difference. The focus stays on your alignment, self-love, gratitude, and trusting the how will take care of itself.
And surrender isn't just the last step. It underpins everything.
It really does. From getting clear, through handling tests, right to the end, it's woven throughout.
Those quotes are perfect. I don't chase, I attract. And trust is the glue that holds all the steps of manifesting together.
So recapping the 7 steps from Manifest: clarity and vision,
Removing fear and doubt.
aligning behavior,
Overcoming tests.
embracing gratitude,
Turning envy into inspiration.
and trusting in the universe.
And like we said, they're all connected. They need ongoing attention, consistent practice.
Definitely. So for everyone listening, maybe take a moment to think. Which of these steps feels most relevant for you right now? Where's your biggest challenge or opportunity?
Because the real power comes from engaging with these ideas personally, tailoring them to your own journey. It's not one size fits all.
Absolutely. It's your unique path.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. Consider this. What if the ultimate key, maybe even beyond these specific steps, is cultivating that deep trust in your own inner wisdom?
Interesting. Trusting yourself, fundamentally.
Yeah. What would it actually feel like to operate from that place of just unwavering self-belief and inner knowing? Something to think about.